if you're using Imhotep to build Mausoleum, and you have both of his original charges, when you build Mausoleum, he'll have 2 charges left. If Imhotep has 1 charge left and you build Mausoleum, he'll disappear. He won't get the extra charge.
That is
so
interesting.
it's super important to know that you have to use your first charge of Imhotep to build Mausoleum if that's the rule.
That is pro player tip right there. Oh, this is fun.
Yeah, I got completely stopped. Like I got so stopped. And I couldn't stop him because I didn't have faith.
So now I loaded up turn 100.
Yeah.
You can see that, you took over the Khmer city here. And as you mentioned, the loyalty pressure on Alexander is on a whole other level. Nicaea, that was a tiny little city that you took over from Basil, is at pop 7. I assume because you have your builders.
I'm shopping population like crazy, yeah.
But yeah, you were going to clear out these marshes, I'm sure, to grow population even further.
And I got my other builder moving up to settle right below Alexander to put more pressure on him.
That's another settler right here. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got Alexander contained. And what other thing is happening here, right, is religion. Because Khmer is the only other civ on this continent that has religion. Meaning that, and they're already been converted slowly. I assume you're not doing it intentionally.
Nope. I got when I finished the 2 apostle temple, I used 1 apostle to get culture per population. And I used the other apostle, got the debater promotion, and I just kept running them up to Khmer, fighting any religious units I could see, and then running them back to a holy site and healing.
That is genius, because you already picked World Church, meaning that for every 4 followers, your culture is going to grow. And I mean, it's spreading organically right now. And all you need to do is just push Khmer out, and then Alex is going to convert, Basil's going to convert. And I mean, this is snowballing effect at turn 100, where at this point, you pretty much make a conclusion that
at this point,
inevitable. The end is inevitable. It's just how fast, right?
Yeah.
And all these plantations are still bringing culture. Look at that.
Exactly. And that city right there is 4 culture per turn, which if you look, I'm making, what is that, 85 culture per turn. That 4 more is still a lot of culture. Like at
that level.
And that's where I say, but your 4 faith at this point for that for the faith to mines has basically been negated. Like 4 more faith per turn is that's nothing.
Yeah.
But 4 culture is still shaving turns off the next civic.
Absolutely. Culture is just the primary yield in the game period. And then we'll look at the relations with the AIs that you have. Not surprisingly, every single one of them, even Wilhelmina. I mean, first of all, you don't have a trade route to her.
Yeah.
And you don't have trade routes to any civ. And to be friends with her, and I just wonder, let's just take a look real quick. How'd you
Very
how'd you
early,
make it happen?
I sent a delegation and I gave her open borders right away for +6. And then I just waited it out. And honestly, I was going to give her a gift of gold, but she just happened to accept beforehand.
You didn't even have to spend any gold on her. That's amazing.
That's when knowing the agendas and understanding how a civ is going to react to you is super important. Like Chapter Gupra here, however it's pronounced, he doesn't want you to be settled near him. Well, I knew I was nowhere near him, so I had less worries about him. But like you said, Wilhelmina, I know I'm not going to send her a trade route. I know she's going to be angry about that. So right away, I gave her open. Gotcha. India, I saved the open borders to make money.
So now at this point, making boatload of gold, your yields are amazing. You also have 26 tourists per turn, and I assume they're all coming from
Wonders
the Wonders in religion. And then religion, you don't have any relics or anything like that yet.
No, And let me just point out, like, I know you ran down and settled Cliffs of Dover very early.
Hmm.
Um, I like if you look at my cities, they're all like about 3 tiles from the closest city, and
Hmm.
that is by the even that sugar city, which is a huge city. I settled those two coastal cities first because I'm trying to clear the fog of war, and I'm trying to get that
Yeah.
city down as soon as possible to make money, make yield. That Aquilia, or however it's pronounced, had a water luxury and a diamond. I need that gold per turn, so I can settle that city 5 turns sooner, get those two luxuries sold, and that's more money to get the next thing out. So I very rarely send far out cities.
At this turn, I guess start to get worried about Mausoleum and whatnot because so the engineer is still kind of far, right? None of the engineers has been hired yet,
Yep.
and I know like one of the first moves we do, well, we do, I do, you do, whatever, but is to hire lure away Emotap, right? The wonder
Yep.
building engineer because it's so cheap. It's only 1,000 faith, and if you're making 100 faith per turn, that is
Yeah,
nothing.
it's 10 turns. Yeah,
That's
exactly.
nothing.
But at this point, I had actually given up on even getting great engineers. I was at such a starvation for gold and faith, and I knew I needed to keep settling and expanding. That I really was looking at this like I'm probably not going to be able to buy great engineers. Like I was starting to debate, can I do this without wonders? Because I still haven't even found the other continent yet. Like it's turn 100, and I am like I was really sweating at this.
Oh, and you lost this tile. Boo. No,
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. Wait, so if you are not building wonders, in a culture game like this, your
yeah,
focus would switch to what? I see you're still expanding. I get it because
yeah,
you're gonna need so much faith, right, for
yeah.
naturalists and rock bands potentially.
That's why I'd sort of given up on great engineers because I I didn't have the faith per turn, and I didn't have the yields, and my cities weren't growing fast enough. And I thought I was going to have to start doing cities that were just Commercial Hub Theater Square versus Holy Site Commercial Hub Theater Square. I thought, okay, I'm gonna have to start, and I thought I was just gonna have to start cramming cities in to get theater squares down, so that the faith to settle those cities would have been the normally the faith I would use to buy great engineers and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, like this game at this point, I'm stressing because I don't have enough trade routes to feed my cities. I don't have gold to even get the markets. And in order to buy the trade routes, I need market, but then I also need to buy the trader. So I'm just hemorrhaging everything everywhere.
I
So like,
mean, you have 9 cities and you have 7 trade route capacity. I mean, that's not bad by like average. No, that's not bad by good, solid standards. So I guess
yeah,
maybe at this point you already get into that point of comfort, right?
yeah.
Where you
But
brought
and
yourself
that's
back
the
into.
Yeah, and that's the difference between how I approach it. Like I don't care about winning. Like I don't care
That
about
is
just
such
winning
a
the game.
load of crap you just said.
No, but
That's
I don't care about winning. I care about winning fast. So yeah, I have 9 cities. I can coast to a win at this point, but I'm still keeping the pressure on because I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, my cities aren't growing fast enough because I start. This is where I'm starting to look at. Okay, I need theater squares at this point, but I don't have theater squares because I'm not getting my trade routes out fast enough. So I need to produce more. I also am looking at the number of religious units coming through, and I'm trying to figure, okay, if India starts pushing me religiously, I have to defend against that as well. So that's
that.
where,
Yeah, that's funny because that exactly what happened in my game. At some point, he
yeah,
literally I didn't pay attention and he converted like 4 of my cities. And we
yeah,
were wait. Listen to this. So I figured because I saw his units coming in And I'm like, you know what? Because I was friends with all of them too. I was
Yeah.
like, let me do a religious alliance with them, right? Because
Yeah.
then, like, our cities don't impact with the religious pressure, blah blah blah. I'm thinking to myself, he's not going to convert my cities, but guess what? He actually went
Converts them
ahead.
all.
He freaking converted my cities, and what happens with that, right?
Yeah.
My cities do not exert pressure on those cities. Holy shit! I was like, are you fucking kidding me? What kind of a
Oh,
genius
I
move
love that the AI outsmarted you.
outsmarted me?
How does that feel
Dude,
that
I
you
was
got
sitting there.
outsmarted by the Civilization 6 AI?
Being outsmarted is one thing, but I walked into that, right? He was
Yeah.
planning to convert my cities no matter what. I
Yeah.
misread what the religious alliance does, like I do with so many other things.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And I just went
That's
ahead and I did it. Dude, you couldn't you should have seen my face at that moment when I realized what I what I
and
did.
the funny thing is at this point, I'm not even selling open borders to any of the AI, my open borders, because I didn't want to deal with their troops in my territory. Because
Yeah.
I think by middle of the classical era, I would like because I would try to move builders, and then like there'd be like four warriors.
Yeah, I mean, what's the advantage of having open borders though, in a culture game with other civs? I feel like it's a disadvantage, isn't it? Because don't they get the
Uh,
modifier against you?
They get the modifier, but it doesn't matter because that's international, not domestic. So it's just a source of money. That's it. Money and disposition because it's against you. So
Oh, so
you
it
can't
doesn't really
internet
matter.
yeah, you can't earn international tourists against yourself. So
Oh,
so literally it's just a source of
but still, wouldn't it make it easier for them to
well,
earn foreign tourists against you?
yeah, but like they can only earn so many from you. It's not going to make them earn more international tourists. It's not going to make Basil earn more international tourists from Alexander.
Right, right,
And
from you, right?
so it's just from you. So they can earn one,
Okay.
but you're still it's one versus many.
Yeah, see, that's another thing. Like the reason I settled the city right here, and you
Yeah,
mentioned it earlier, it's because I realized that I'm in range of all these woods. One, two, three, four, five woods, right? I could have
yeah,
chopped out mausoleum very quickly, actually, and that's what I did. I got
yeah,
mausoleum, and I actually got several engineers, like including Imhotep, and and Shah later, even, which I don't think you ever
yeah,
get because it's so late in the in the game.
yeah.
But
And I do get Imhotep.
yeah,
I'm
Imhotep
almost
is
there.
early, right? And Imhotep is so deceiving. Like, well, to me again, because I misread everything.
Yeah.
Because let me pull him up because it says he only gets 175 production, right?
Times two if it's ancient or classical.
Right. So that's almost 400, meaning that every wonder from ancient and classical is what, like 400, right? Or
Yeah,
less.
exactly.
Meaning that he can build them with one charge, meaning
Exactly.
that you
So he
can build two wonders with one engineer.
That's right.
Yeah, yeah.
Load up my
On
turn
155.
150.
Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, load up my turn 155.
But your culture is double mine.
Yeah. So why are you building campuses?
Because
what are those campuses are doing absolutely
I'll tell you
nothing
why.
for you.
Because you have 300 tourism, I had 60. That's why. I'm
Yeah, but
playing a longer game. I have no choice but to do that.
our numbers are the same. That campus just stopped you from building a district that would grow your empire or that would give you faith to expand
Oh, this is
or
fun.
would give you a theater square. Yeah, I got completely stopped. Like I got so stopped. And I couldn't stop them because I didn't have faith. Like all my faith was spoken for, so I was just shooting them with the city walls, and I had to move Moksha to Caesar Augusta down there just so I could use that musket man and heal every turn.
Oh, that's hilarious. Dude,
That's
I
what.
I recognize this and I just stationed my legion at some point right here and was just
Yeah.
busting the fog to try to make sure that the barbs don't
Oh
spawn.
no, yeah. I let that camp spawn, and they just wrecked me. All my plans for those two cities got stopped by that.
Oh, and I see you got. Is it the one and only national park that you have here?
I have a couple of national parks. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you have them up here.
Yeah, like do a search for national parks. I think I have a
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
handful.
Let's do that. Oh, wow. You actually went all out right here.
Yeah, like I said, the one good part about this is there was no floodplains, there was no lakes. It's all national parks. Like if I'm being honest, I played ridiculously conservative, because I met Russia.
Well, what do you mean by that? I mean, you are ahead. You're doing
Yep,
pretty well, right? Like,
yep.
what does Peter have at this point? Let's just see. Like, because I tried to buy up all of. He doesn't have anything. What
He
is
has
this?
enough.
That is nothing. Oh my god,
Well, how much culture is he earning per turn?
he had like triple list when 140.
Okay, he's earning 140 per turn.
140. He was doing 200 in my game on turn
Yes,
150.
exactly. And I didn't want him to do that in my game. So I was trying to win as fast as possible, which means even though walls don't provide enough tourism, it's getting me over that hump to get one more tourist.
Nah, you know what? Now I'm convinced I lost because in your game, France is still alive.
Oh yeah, right.
So,
Yeah, yeah.
so he
Like,
never expanded to that level of culture. Are you earning? So you just starting to get your artists, right?
yeah,
And that's where you're running all of the. You know what? This is the one thing that I didn't do at all. Like run Theater Square projects because what I was doing, I didn't need great people because I bought all of the great
yep.
works.
It also
Um,
gives a very, very small culture boost. What?
12 envoys
Yeah. What?
available.
Oh, at this point, I actually could spend them, but Cold War is really close. Two, your envoys count as two for every. You get double the value as long as you have a different government from the current Caesarian.
Oh,
So I had seven a few turns prior
oh
to
my
this.
god! See,
But
this doesn't even matter in my games because it's so late.
yeah,
It's just like irrelevant to me, but
and
to
a lot of
you,
times it's irrelevant to me. But if you look at the city state list now, I have like seven and eight, and the next person behind me is like one envoy away. I was fighting for Yerevan. I was fighting for Jerusalem. I was fighting
how do you
for
see how many envoys they have? Oh,
click on
so
the city state.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So yeah, I mean, I was constantly fighting for those. So I had a few. I had like seven envoys, but every city state I had, I couldn't afford to lose because I was buying national parks. I was starting to save up for rock bands and stuff like that. Plus, I settled down yeah, I have because I got my one city up there to get to Vietnam. I have to settle these cities to get trade routes to Mali and France and Russia.
Yeah. This is the one thing that I couldn't figure out. I was unable to settle close on this continent, so I was able to trade with Vietnam. I thought I would get I got a trade route, trade post, outpost right here, right?
Yeah,
With Vietnam. And I thought once it finishes, and it did, I would be able to trade with Russia. But it never happened. I was so upset.
fog of
I was like,
war.
what the No, 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 no. Everything was already open.
Huh.
It was really weird, dude. I was like,
Yeah,
why can't I trade with Russia? And I had a trade post like here with Holland also in the harbor open. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So none of it made sense. I was just a little frustrated.
You'll have to load that up because I think I can explain it to you if you load it